Okay, I think this is live. I decided to test out live streaming. Now, this is going to be kind of a test because I really don't know what I'm doing on the live stream. I have one of those cameras that has the screen on the back, so I'd like this to be on the back, but I don't think I can get it on the back. Hold on. If I turn the camera around, okay, you guys can probably see me from the back. Not that there's anyone watching, but I cannot see myself because the screen's not on. Well, it's probably better quality in this side, but I think I'm gonna have to turn it around so I can see myself. All right, there we go. I'm thinking about doing live streams, and the main reason I'm thinking about doing live streams is because I have been struggling at editing videos, like a lot. I have a lot of videos that I have filmed, but not edited, and it's starting to back up and starting to annoy me to the point that I need to figure out a way that I can make videos without editing them or needing to edit them. And yes, I could just film something like this and just post it. And I might end up doing that instead of doing live streams, but I'm going to try out live streaming because why not? So I think at this point, this is limited to people who are subscribed to me and to like plus 25 people. So like, not that 25 people are going to see this tonight because why? It's not even, I don't really, didn't announce it or anything. My hair's a mess. I did the thing where I washed my hair and then put it into a headband and then it just ruins my bangs. So, hi. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But basically, like, I guess the thing I want to talk about is authenticity. Because authenticity is one of my like core values, but sometimes it can be very hard. um because like I know a ton about like the psychology of productivity, how we learn things, how we do things, performance psychology, that kind of stuff. But I don't always follow what I know, right? Like I try to, and I go through periods where like I do, but don't always. And that helps trigger my imposter syndrome. And usually what happens is, so I'm neurodivergent and I'll encounter a neurodivergency problem, um, usually related to taking care of myself. I struggle with things like exercise, I struggle with things like food, and because of the sensory issues that go along with that. And it's not something I really like to admit to people because I'm afraid that people are going to like label me and not want to listen to me, right? Like if people are like, "Oh, I'm neurotypical." Like I don't want to listen to somebody who is neurodivergent. I have nothing to learn from them. Whereas like what I teach is more like philosophy, right? Like the stuff I like to talk about and the stuff that I feel like driven to talk about is more philosophy than anything. I mean, yes, I talk a lot about performance and productivity and stuff too, because that's like my core interests. But honestly, like, yeah, I I I get stuck a lot of times in neurodivergency, sensory issue land, and it's hard. It's difficult, and it interrupts productivity, it interrupts progress, it interrupts goals reaching, and all of the performance things that I know work. Like I've done them before, and they work, but it's really hard to stick to when I have more fundamental like taking care of myself issues that get in the way of things. And I usually don't talk about this stuff because I am very afraid that people aren't going to want to listen to what I do know and do have to say because of it. it makes me feel like I'm not like worthy of teaching stuff. And I'm in the process of writing a book. It's a very short book. It's basically like my origin story plus how to use a Zettelkasten to with a journal to help know yourself at a like deeper level. Um, it's just like a little small guide. It's not like a huge book thing. But I am facing lots of imposter syndrome writing this stupid thing. I think it's good. It's going to turn out really well, really well, really good, whatever. Um, I think it really is. Like it's coming together. I've had to rewrite it multiple times, and I still have to rewrite it one more time. I think to get it like fully good. But I'm liking how it's coming out. So yeah, that would be nice. Um, but I am excited to like get it out and share it and finish writing it and whatnot. But yeah, there's been a ton of imposter syndrome that went along with this thing. I'm like half in my little tent bed thing. I it's been really hard to write. And I realized that with this stuff, I do struggle a lot with imposter syndrome, and I think everyone says like, oh, everyone struggles with imposter syndrome, but in my previous jobs, in my previous work, when I worked for Google and when I've worked for various tech companies, I had none of that. I have never in my life struggled with imposter syndrome. I went to a Ivy of the South college. Like it's not officially an Ivy, but it's basically an Ivy. It's one of like Ivy plus schools. Um, Never had imposter syndrome. I've worked at Google. I've done cool tech things. I've worked for startups. I've done all kinds of cool stuff. And I have never had imposter syndrome. I went back to school a second time, no imposter syndrome. But here I am now trying to like share my message. And it's been my same message that I've had pretty much like my entire adult life, right? Um, I shared a piece of writing that I did in 2011, which is the same freaking message that I have now. And it needs to be shared. Like, I want to share it because I know that it can help someone out there. And I just faced a lot of imposter syndrome around it due to the fact that I am neurodivergent. It is what it is. And, I was thinking yes the other day, like, I don't deserve to be writing a book because of all my things I still struggle with. And someone pointed out to me that I needed to be more open and authentic about my struggles. So that's what this video is supposed to be. I don't think anyone ever is going to watch this, but we'll see. Maybe people will come back later and watch it. But I want to try the live stream thing. Like, I think it would be good for me to just like talk to the internet. I'm probably going to try to use one of those services that like lets you dual stream to Instagram and to YouTube and then like combines the chat. Because I know that I have more followers on Instagram because I have friends on Instagram that might want to watch me. I don't know. But for now, I just wanted to get this out. So it's just YouTube. All right. Well, it's been 9 minutes and that was my like thought for the night. So I'm just going to like cut it there. But yeah, live streaming works. I mean, the front camera on this phone is not great and this lighting kind of sucks, but we'll work on it. All right. I'm going to say goodnight to y'all and see if I can write another page in my book before I go to sleep. Cheers.